Fantasy Joe back here with some more fantasy football content. Today I am breaking down a few of my favorite sleeper targets. These are guys going into the double-digit rounds that you could snatch up that are going to greatly outscore where they're being drafted, have the potential to be those league winner type of guys you're getting basically for free in your drafts that you can stack on the end of that roster once you've got your safe picks, give your team that upside to bring home that championship this season. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's the number one way to help you bring home that fantasy football championship. Just hit subscribe. It's that easy. Have in-season content, all the draft rankings you need, everything here in Fantasy Joe. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. Let's dive into our first sleeper. As you can see, I was already scrolling there while I was doing the intro. That's because we got a ways to go, but I really do believe in this player. And the next sleeper is even deeper than this one is. It's Dylan Sampson, currently going as RB54. He has moved up a little bit recently. The hype has started to get there, but I've been a big Dylan Sampson guy, even coming out of the draft. And then we saw the Quinshon Judkins situation. Obviously, he's not even under contract currently with the Cleveland Browns. And Dylan Sampson is currently splitting reps with Jerome Ford as one of the starters. He actually started the third preseason game, which is a great sign for him. Last year, he's an extremely productive running back in the SEC, 258 carries, good for 1,491 yards. I believe that's a single-season record at the University of Tennessee. 22 touchdowns as well, 5.8 a carry, 5.9 for his career. And he was also the SEC Offensive Player of the Year if this thing is going to roll up. Here we go. Okay, it doesn't have it anymore. Here we go. SEC Offensive Player of the Year coming off this previous season. So a super productive player, Jerome Ford, I do not believe in personally. I thought he was going to be much better last year. I was making some moves when I saw the way their running back depth chart was moving around, but he just wasn't it. But I do think Dylan Sampson's the more talented running back. He's going to win the job, win a lot of carries, win a lot of work as the season goes on. Not a guy I'd love to throw in my flex in week one, although I do think he's going to get some work. But with Joe Flacco at that offense, it greatly increases their chance of scoring touchdowns, producing points, things like that. It is not a good team. It is not a good offense. I'm not, saying any of that by any means. But we're talking double-digit rounds. You can get this guy in round 11, round 12 pretty easily, and a guy who could be a starting running back who is talented. And like I said, everything is really lined up for him to be able to take on that role, and I just really like the prospects of a good player going that late. All right, our next guy up, we got to keep scrolling. Here we go. 183, wide receiver 65. It is Kyle Williams. He was a third-round draft pick for the New England Patriots, and I'm going to pull up his stats right now. If this will work for me, come on. So, yeah, he went to Washington State. 6-foot wide receiver. He's listed on here. I think that was his college height. He's measured in at 5'10 at the combine, so that's pretty interesting. But we see this last year in 13 games, 70 receptions, good for 17.1 per, almost 1,200 yards, and 14 receiving touchdowns. When you watch the film, he jumps off the tape. He's got really good releases. He's got great finishing speed. You just see him catch the ball in a simple play and just take off time and time again when you watch the film. And like I said, he can run routes. He can do other things that a receiver needs to do. Only thing that really worries me, he does have really short arms, which sounds dumb to critique about a wide receiver. Like, what does it matter? You very rarely see wide receivers excel on the outside when they have shorter arms. His are about 26th percentile. But I still, when you watch the tape, I just think he can be really good. The reports from camp have been awesome. I think this guy has a chance to be the Puka Nacua of this class. A guy that's just going in really late in drafts that could come out, borderline undrafted, come out and potentially be the wide receiver 1 for his team this year. I think that is the upside for Kyle Williams. Stephon Diggs is there. They're paying him, but he is coming off of an ACL injury. He's an older player. I think Stephon Diggs probably does play week 1, but it's not a guarantee. And I just think Kyle Williams has a chance to potentially be a better player. Stephon Diggs is for sure safer, but you're getting a multiple round discount on a guy who has a ton of potential to break out and be an absolute star. These aren't sleepers, but let me give you guys a few more names kind of in that round 7 to 9 range that I've been targeting in just about all my drafts. Travis Hunter, I think, is a great pick. Got picked at number 2 overall. One thing I'll say about Kyle Williams, obviously, he torched Travis Hunter when he was playing corner at Colorado when they played. So just another him competing against NFL talents. Mecca Ibuka, A guy I absolutely love targeting. I think he'll be the number 2, maybe even number 1 most productive wide receiver on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their, the way their depth chart is shaking out. Chris Godwin likely to miss a lot of time. Mike Evans has missed time the last 4 years with hamstring injuries, so obviously that's still a concern for him. Matthew Golden, another name I really like. You don't see him on here right now. He's probably farther down. Yeah, Matthew Golden. So love drafting him, another guy. First round wide receiver going at 42. I think he'll probably go a little bit higher in drafts in your home leagues. But I have no problem taking him in the 7th, 8th round, something like that. I think he'll be the number 1 receiver for the Green Bay Packers this season. Jaden Reed, we just found out he's got a Jones fracture on the outside of his foot. That is never good for your running backs. But really does lock in Matthew Golden, that number 1 wide receiver role for me, and just diminishes the amount of competition he's going to have greatly. Another guy I really love, Cam Scatabo. I know he's been dealing with the hamstring injury, but when you turn on the tape, this guy is just absolutely phenomenal, guys. It's awesome to watch him play. At 1,700 rushing yards last year, still 600 receiving. When I turn on the tape, I expected, just by looking at him, to be watching a bowling ball just run over guys, Mike Allstott style. But he's really got a lot more to his game than that. When you watch him in the pass game, he's a fluid pass catcher. One of the first plays you'll watch, too, when you turn on the tape for him, they're playing a team. 2 defenders come off the edge. They both have him dead to rights. He beats them both to the edge with his speed and his power. Just beats one and then just manhandles the other one. He tries to get close to him and gets to the end zone. It's really impressive what he can do. I think he's going to win that job over from Tyrone Tracy. Not a great offense, but when you're getting him in drafts, all that stuff is kind of baked in at that point. But yeah, those are my sleepers. Kyle Williams, Dylan Sampson, and give you guys some more rookies I like with some good values in the drafts. If you guys liked the video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys so much for watching.